Welcome to the first round of Bangkok Chess Blitz tournament for qualifiers. In the first round, I'm playing very solid amateur player from Thailand, and he started with a Rati system knight f3, and here I decided to surprise him with something like b6, which I saw in the Jan Gustafsson game of this open tournament. So setup is pretty much basic. As you see, you're developing your bishop on b7, playing e6. You want next knight to f6, bishop to e7, and white is aiming for some sort of King's Indian setup. And now he's already struggling how to coordinate his pieces because he know if he pushes c4, I will always take, and then I will open up my bishop from b7 to the bishop to g2. So he can also play d4, but he decided to go for d3. And now knight f6, and now he quickly went for the move e4, which is not the best option. He has this idea of when I take the pawn to move the knight so he can open up his bishop, but he's a little bit slow with this idea because after take knight e2, now I think I should play the move queen c8, but I firstly developed the bishop on e7, which I'm going to play now, and now he went knight c3, so now he has enough attackers on that pawn, so I should play queen c8 earlier, not now, but earlier, but now it's also fine. And after queen c8, he take the pawn, we went for the trades, and he decided to change the structure and enter symmetrical structure with d takes c4. He thought that he is better here, but position is totally equal. And now my point is to play at some moment e5, so I can close the g2 bishop completely. But then I'm weakening the d5 square, so the knight on c3 can jump in. Now I want to keep flexible, so I decided to castle. He will develop the bishop on e3, and at this point I need to get out my knight somehow. So knight goes on d7 as the most flexible square because I can get on f6, e5 or c5 later. Now depends what he plays. I'm planning maybe to go knight f6 or knight e5. Since knight c5 is doing nothing, but with knight f6 or knight e5 I want to jump and target their dark square bishop. Rook e1, and now I think spend some time here for the next move, because if I go knight f6, there is move e5, really tricky move that takes a lot of space. So instead of putting the knight on f6, I decided to place my knight on e5, and now I'm just about to play that move. Still thinking, burning time, so this is not good in blitz games. You should not play that much slow. You just need to play something so you get not problems later in the time scramble, which I did later. So the position is still equal, and now I'm finally playing the move 95, which is a good move. I want to jump on c4. He plays rook b1 now to defend the pawn on b2. The pawn on b2 is being a little bit weak. And now at this point, I'm just trying to quickly put my rooks into the game. That's my plan. Firstly, knight c4, he drops the bishop back, outshining my knight, and now here comes the activity of rooks on the open lines, of course. Rook d8, targeting the queen, queen g4, and now here I was very fine with a queen trade. So I was totally fine to push the pawn, as I suggested earlier, because this pawn is actually locking down his bishop on g2. I don't know why I'm thinking so much, because I should just play. I understand it's a first round. I'm favorite, so I'm a little bit assuming in my moves, which is not good, but I'm still playing good. e5, opening up the queen to queen. Of course, he's trading, doesn't have a better decision. Bishop takes, because I don't want to take. I wanna open up the diagonal, so covering the h3 square. Knight e5, defending the pawn on c7 with bishop d6. And now at this point, he's trying to harass my knight. I'm moving him on the only square a5. Um, at this point, my plan is just to play c6, f6, bishop e6, just push his pieces away, because his knight on d5 is being really annoying. So that's why here I play c6, knight drops back. And now again, I need to play faster and faster. I cannot wait. Like f6 is very logical, I just need to play it. Also bishop e6 is logical. Just play it. There is no need to not play this move, This move is so safe. Um, so f6, and now I'm still continuing with my plan. He's also consolidating. a3, trying to prepare b4. Bishop e6. Now if he push b4, I have knight c4. So that's why he brings his bishop to f1, so he can cover the c4 square. And now I play g6, just in case the knight cannot jump on f5 square. That's really important to lock down. b4, now my knight on b7 is a little bit weird. He played bishop c4, and now I defend this with my king f7. Maybe I had a better move here, maybe to take or something, I'm not sure. But this is a blitz, so king f7 is totally natural move. Now my knight on b7 is a very bad piece, and I'm threatening maybe to play b5 next, or to take the bishop and then play b5. And that's why after that he decided to play bishop a6, which is really nice move. This a little bit makes me spend some time here. I'm not sure how to defend the knight. I'm not seeing where the knight goes. And then now I realize that I need to move my bishop from d6 to e7 and then to make knight space on d6, which I did in the game. But now I'm thinking about that, thinking, and still not figuring out what to do. My clock is running, and now I found that idea. Now bishop e7, and my knight is going to d6 on the next move. I'm also fine with the rook trade because my king is closer to the center. Objectively, the position is equal. There is nothing what can white or black do here, but we are totally fine, and black looks just more comfortable here. He brought a bishop back, knight e6 jumps, ready for knight c4 maybe, f3 consolidating, and now I decided to play knight b5 because I want to trade some pieces, and also I want to open up the c line. And also if he takes, that gives me the bishop pair, which I honestly like. This gives me some edge, so he decided to make all of these trades, and now I don't want to trade this rook because I felt my rook on c8 will be very powerful. Pawn on c2 is a very big weakness, a5, c3, and now the bishop on b2 is close, so I should play on that bishop. At this point we are entering the time scramble, where I shouldn't trade the pieces, but knight will become so powerful on d5 sooner or later. I like my pawn structure on the light squares since he has a dark square bishop, but he has a good knight, and at this point I can't let this knight do something to my position. I need to trade this knight for my light square bishop and maybe to ruin his pawn structure, which apparently did. Like I was surprised that he entered the following endgame, where I think black can only play for the win. But then I forget completely about c4, and now I'm also low on time. I push a5, he played c4, and I find the only idea, of course, to save my position, which surprised me that the position is still equal. The whole game position is very equal. Now e4, intermediate move, takes, and now at this point he played king e5 because otherwise I will take on c4. And there was some crazy idea. You will see now the engine bar will go crazy in a few. So I pushed e3, which is a good move. And now he pushed c5, which is mistake. Now looks like a good move, but it's mistake. The reason why, I can sacrifice the bishop. So after c5, if you now see it, b takes, and now bishop d4 check. I didn't see that idea coming. I played e2, and that's actually how I lost the game, because now white is completely winning. He's covering the pawn on e1, and I can't extend b4, so I had a winning idea of sacrificing the bishop and then pushing b4 and both pawns together. In that case, their bishop cannot reach both pawns, and now it's absolutely lost. White is winning, so you see one mistake, blitz game, time scramble. Doesn't really matter. I was objectively whole game more comfortable, more like my position is more convenient, but this is just some hopeless play, and then I resign here. Like my opponent played totally nice, and he's definitely good experience club player, blitz player, so I see this.